Welcome to River City Plus, the show after the show. River City Live just ended, and we had Mary Lou Welling here from Amelia Island down here. We were talking about Amelia Island Restaurant Week, which kicks off January 19th, and we were more focused on the food. So let's talk about the event itself. So thanks for spending a little extra time with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So Amelia Island Restaurant Week, this is 16 years. What's going on this year?
Yes, so we've themed it our Sweet 16 since it is our 16th annual. But across the island, we have 25 restaurants that are participating this year. So it's definitely going to be a hot scene. We have over 6 new restaurants to choose from. And we have our great staples that are joining again this year.
So, Sweet 16, I wore pink. Actually, I wore it for our Mean Girls segment, but
yes.
Sweet 16 pink, I'm in it. I
know, I'm like, 16 candles. She had a pink dress. I love it. Like, we're connecting all the dots. Now, I was really excited to talk to you, Mary Lou, because, Rance has always raves about Amelia Island. I know that you go up there a lot. Even though I'm still newer on the scene, I've only gotten to go up there once with Rance. So I kind of wanted to see what some of the must not miss moments were. So like if this is your first year at Restaurant Week, like you said, you guys have been perfecting this for 16 years, but what's your, do you have a favorite thing? Do you have a must not miss moment?
There's so many. I would definitely say hit the downtown area. It's a cute little quaint seaport village. It's all within walking distance, so there's restaurants that you can hit up for lunch. You can go out on a river cruise. We actually have a new offering that is carriage rides. They are electric carriage rides, not horse-drawn. So you get the quaintness, and he's touring around all of the Victorian homes and bed and breakfasts around the area. So you can hit a couple activities and then maybe hit up a different restaurant for dinner.
I love the idea of an electric carriage ride because I'm like, Rance will tell you anytime we go somewhere historic and I see like a horse pulling a carriage, I'm like, do you think he's happy with his life? Do you think he's okay? And Rance is like, the horse is fine. Let's keep it moving. Get really hung up on it. So I really love that innovation that you guys are bringing to it.
So I know you haven't really been up there. I swear every time I go up, I discover like another little pocket because you hear Amelia Island and Fernandina Beach. You're like, oh, well, I know the downtown area or whatever, but then there's the area over the other side where you've got the Ritz and all of those hotels. There's a bunch of restaurants over there. So, yeah, they do it up big down there.
I have heard they have a great spa down there. So, I mean, maybe we should go do some like R&D over there at Amelia Island. What do you think?
Yes, I definitely recommend it. The Ritz is actually, the spa is seeing a renovation at the beginning of this year, and it'll reopen this spring in March. So it's going to be an experience in itself.
Somebody's giving us a call. Now,
give the people
with
what they
Amelia
want.
Island and all of that, we talked about the downtown, but there's so many other things. So, like we were talking about that river cruise, that you get on the water and just right across the water, you're looking at Georgia and the wild horses. Oh, tell them about the horses.
Wild horses and wild boar. They're just majestic. And they will come out right off of the island, Cumberland Island, and bathe right in the little water area there. So it's just so like you come to Florida and you see wild horses. Like you don't get that experience anywhere else.
Wild horses.
You like how my face did this when she was like, the wild boars, they're so majestic. I was like, oh, she meant the horses. I was like,
Yes.
I was like, I've seen a wild boar. I know how majestic they are. But we love it. Hakuna Matata. It's fine.
What other kind of events do you guys have going on? I know we missed Dickens and Pajama Day after Thanksgiving. That was what you do in the winter, like as you're getting into the holiday season. But as we move into the spring, you guys have a ton of things. Restaurant Week, obviously, but what else?
We tap into the arts a little bit. So Chamber Music Festival is kicking off. They have an extensive list of shows all the way through June this year. And then we also are the Amelia Concours Week. So that kicks off February 29th this year, a little bit earlier. So get your tickets and make your plans in advance.
I think it's kind of like the Kentucky Derby of cars. Because people, when you go, I've been a couple of times, and I went once just on my own for fun, and I'm like, man, people dress up for this. I mean, you have people that are just casual, but you like got the hats, people got their cravats. Is that what it's called, the cravat?
Yeah, I mean,
look at that.
I remember us talking about that last year. It was a fun kind of like old life, new life connection. One of my friends in Palm Beach was producing that event, and she said, "Hey, like I heard that you're up here in this area," and she was talking about Amelia Island, and I was like, that's our backyard. We'd love to talk about it. And the cars that they bring to this some of them are custom made, limited edition. And like you said, I love a fashion moment. I mean, and it was just like fast cars and great fashion. So it was a really beautiful event. And Amelia Island seems to really be such a unique community within itself that's very supportive, that's very self-sustaining. Like, it's really just kind of its own little unique spot.
It's, I don't want to say strange, but it kind of is, because you can have I've seen businesses across the street from each other doing the same thing, but they still have love for each other. The community is all about, hey, bring people up. We got plenty of spaces, plenty of opportunity. Everybody can make money, but it's just a real family vibe every time I go. And I mean, you've got like dog walk events on the weekends, various of those coming up. I mean, shrimp.
Get ready this year in May.
I guess we'll be doing some Shrimp Fest too. So what is it about Amelia Island that makes it so appealing in your opinion?
Oh, in my opinion, I think it is that small town vibe that you get while you're there, but also that like the entire island is there for you. It's uncrowded. You don't have the city life up that way, and there's lots of nature to explore. So we have the Amelia Island State Park on the south end. As you're coming up Heckscher, that'd be the first thing you see. And then on the north part is our Fort Clinch State Park. So you get a little bit of history, a little bit of nature, lots of good food, high fashion, luxury resorts. Like, it's just such a good mixture of everything, all in one little 13-mile wide island.
It's crazy.
only
I know.
13
We're both
miles?
like, wait, what?
Miles, that's it.
It's an action-packed 13 miles. Now, Rance, I love that you talked about on the show, you mentioned that this is a great one-tank trip. And I think this would be an ideal kind of like staycation weekend, because sometimes you want to get away, you want to be in a different environment, but you don't necessarily want the long haul of the traffic or anything like that.
Yep.
And besides, I mean, I know we mentioned the Ritz, but you guys have all kinds of boutique hotels and bed and breakfasts there, and also makes it inviting. And it's pretty walkable and bikeable all the way around.
Absolutely agree. One really unique option that comes to mind that I think if you're coming up from Jacksonville, you just have to see is the Amelia Island Schoolhouse. They have renovated an old schoolhouse, and it's kind of like a B&B, but they also have a bar right in their lobby, and it's called the Principal's Office. How cool is that?
I love that.
I am here for all of that.
Yeah. So that would be the place to stay that I could recommend. And it's right in that downtown area, all walkable and everything. But we have some really fun, unique ways to get around, too. We have, oh, no, I'm forgetting what they're called. Basically, two-seater golf carts, but it's one person in the front, one person in the back.
Oh.
So I'll have to get you the exact name of that company. But it's a great little fun way to get around the island versus a bike, and it's electric.
Yeah, you know, because sometimes like we glisten if we work too hard. So we like to more like sip and be chauffeured. That's the kind of life I'm telling Rance we need to live.
I do not glisten. I am drenched. It's like, but also we're talking about some of the history. So those of us of a seasoned age that remember the original Pippi Longstocking movie, the Pippi Longstocking house is there. Did they sell it? Were they doing tours? Because we went there years ago. I had a Pippi Longstocking wig and everything.
I'm not sure that they offer tours, but it is really unique to see. It's located in the Old Town area of the island, which is a little bit farther away from the downtown area, but it's very unique in that right across the street is Florida's smallest state park. Called the Old Town Historic Park. And it really is just like an open grassy area, but you can't do anything there. So it's a completely open area. You can watch the sunset, watch the beautiful sunset. You're looking at that Cumberland Island right across the way. So it's a really great experience to go see the Longstocking House.
That's fun. I'm gonna have
It's
to.
Villa Villa Coola.
Oh yeah, Villa Villa Cool. I'm gonna have to dig that up. I'm gonna be doing some YouTube research later. I'm gonna need to see that.
And then afterwards, you'll have to head to Villa Villa Coola Toy Store in the downtown area. They're doing some little refreshing as well that I saw that they posted on their social media.
And talk about that a little bit, because, I mean, as much history as it is, and a bunch of the shops that have been there for some of ever, we've had a classic Mexican restaurant that pivoted, and now they're on a different block. You've got some, is there like another little hotel coming in downtown as well? I might be making that. I know that I go there and I'm like, there's so much going on. Pride Parade was awesome as well. I mean, you guys do it big, but yeah, just some of the new innovations around there.
Yeah, there's some new developments coming up on the waterfront. Is called the Marine, and that's in very early stages. But they're transforming one of the older seaport buildings, shrimping buildings, into from the concept that I've understood is the entrance is going to be like little shops, and then up top there's going to be a top deck venue that overlooks the the water.
Oh, we love a
river
rooftop
there.
moment.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, Amelia, y'all are calling. And another aspect I want to put out there, I mean, you guys are always doing much to give back to community, but one person that sticks out to me is, his name is Paul Lohr. He's a bartender up there, very ingrained in the community. I think he's about to embark on his third trip. He has been a part of groups that have paddled across various oceans and seas the past couple years to raise money on so many different levels. And I think that's awesome. But even with him, he's just like one. But you guys are really about giving back to the community on so many different levels.
So many levels, and that occasion is to support veteran suicide, and as a community we really get behind Paul Lohr and the crew that does that every year. So we're very proud that they get to call Amelia Island home, and I am just so impressed, Rance. Like, you are a #1 fan of Amelia Island.
I know. I feel like you're
knowing all about the
honorary
community.
Amelian. Is that a thing? An honorary Amelian?
Oh, I like that.
There you go.
I like that too.
Marketing.
But I do have a good time, and I mean, I could just name drop a bunch of I mean, the Turtle is always that live music and all that. There's a Mermaid Bar where people are at. Yeah, and that's that bed and bread or that boutique hotel. You stay in that room. Woo! That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's awesome, but it's woo.
We like an eclectic moment. I wasn't sure what kind of woo we were talking
It
about,
was
but
eclectic.
I was like, all right.
Deer antlers above the bed. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, Rance has gotten an insider.
Well,
She's got nothing. She's
I
got,
got
nothing.
nothing. I'm like, I guess better antlers than mirrors. I don't know. So we'll just transition anyways. So if people do want to like stay connected with you, and we want to loop around back to Restaurant Week, because I do know that it's kind of an RSVP ticketed situation, which I think is great because you want people to come and experience it, but not overdo it so that people can't actually have that individualized experience with those restaurants. So how can we stay connected with you and continue to support that?
Yeah, absolutely. AmeliaIsland.com, we keep up to date on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. For Restaurant Week specifically, there are 2 events. There's an opening and a closing dinner held at each of the resorts. We actually are already sold out for this year for both of those events. I know, insane. It happened so quick this year, so we really are leaning into that foodie vibes, and that be like really driving travel and visitation to Amelia Island this year. So I think that overall, though, for the restaurant week itself, there are a few restaurants that do take reservations, and we have those listed on AmeliaIsland.com/yummy. And you can go and you make your reservations in advance, but then if you wanted to drop by somewhere casual for lunch, you can definitely do that as well.
$15 for lunch, $30 for
Sold.
dinner. I mean, individuals getting out $50 before tip. Make sure you tip accordingly. Take care of your people. It's usually the drinks that add to it, but still, that is a bargain. You get a couple of different meals and get a different experience because it's like German, seafood, Mexican, Cuban. What else y'all want up there? They got it at Amelia Island. So, Mary Lou, thanks for hanging out with us. We look forward to hanging out with you again for Shrimp Fest. And I'm drooling now, so I'm gonna just go over here.
Rance has to wrap this up because we still have to go fight over the shrimp that Chef Klein made today. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on River City Plus, and we'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early at 9:30 for River City
Live.